The other depressing thing that happened was Kamala Harris was interviewed by that well-renowned journalist Priyanka Chopra. Honestly, I can't tell you one thing that Priyanka Chopra has done. I don't even know if she's an actress or a chef. I'm not sure. I think she's married to a Jonas brother. She interviews Vice President Harris at the Democratic National Committee's Women's Leadership Forum, okay, at which they discuss climate change. Again, because Priyanka Chopra, I guess that's her issue. And Vice President Harris, in the wake of, the death toll in Florida last I looked was 81, but they expected it to climb higher. In the wake of that, she wants to talk about climate change, and Harris had a reassurance for the people of Florida and nationwide, I guess. And here's how that went. Listen.
We are all thinking about the families in Florida, in Puerto Rico, with Fiona, and what we need to do to help them in terms of an immediate response and aid. It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
It's about giving resources based on equity. Equity is how she suggests we're going to be dictating where the hurricane funds for Ian and Fiona should go. This resulted in the FEMA director, Rich, having to come out and say, that's not true. We're not doing that. We are supporting all communities in need.
Yeah, we're still a race-neutral disaster aid agency. It's unbelievable. First of all, Exhibit A, why she's very unlikely ever to be president of the United States, unless for some reason Biden can't finish out his term and she takes over. This is disaster relief. It's a no-brainer. All you say is this administration is totally committed to this. We don't care. It's a Republican governor in Florida who's criticized this administration. That doesn't matter to us. And we're going and helping every single person we can possibly reach. And our prayers are with everyone in Florida. And we're going to stay on this for as long as it takes to rebuild every single house. It's not hard, but she couldn't do it. And she couldn't do it because this kind of Oberlin-esque woke ideology has seeped in everywhere, including the highest levels of government, with the second-ranking executive officer of the government thinking it's appropriate to say that you're going to use disaster relief to right alleged historic inequities. And one of the more astonishing things about this is she got applause at the end of this answer. It wasn't like everyone at that DNC event was like, uh-oh, shouldn't have said that. They're like, oh, yeah, of course, this is wonderful. And this is just an ideology that eats people's brains, and it has ripped through every elite institution. It's ripping through the Democratic Party as we speak, and this is a prime example.
Can you imagine someone hurting right now on the Gulf Coast of Florida, trying to fill out the already cumbersome, red tape to get the disaster relief and being asked, are you white?
Right.
If you're white, forget about it. You can go to the back of the line.
Yeah, it's profoundly un-American. And, Florida officials were pushing back on it as well, just to make sure, no, it's available to everyone. And providing the numbers, the phone numbers to call. But again, this is who she is. This is what she believes, and it's really abysmal and appalling.
There was some buzz on Twitter about the looting in Florida, because unfortunately, whenever you have a natural disaster, you have bad people who try to take advantage of those who are hurting, try to go into their house, try to go into stores that have been flooded and steal things. And there were some pictures on Twitter of signs down in Florida, like, you watch it, like with a gun, or I can't remember how clever they were, but they were good. They were sort of,
I shoot.
Yeah, you loot, I shoot. Okay, so now that's racist, okay? Because it was said back in the racist past by somebody who had a connection to Bull Connor. And so you can't even threaten somebody who's looking to steal from you after your home has been ravaged by a hurricane or your business, and they want to steal. And if you say, I'll shoot you if you try to break in here, you're racist, because it has some connection. So this is what's going on now because Ron DeSantis warned against looters. Here's what he said. It's soundbite 2.
The other thing that we're concerned about, particularly in those areas that were really hard hit, is, we want to make sure we're maintaining law and order. Don't even think about looting. Don't even think about taking advantage of people. In the state of Florida, you never know what may be lurking behind somebody's home. And I would not want to chance that if I were you, given that we're a Second Amendment state.
Joy Reid, never missing an opportunity to racialize everything. Points out that segregationist Miami Sheriff Walter E. Headley, 1967, said, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. She tweets, didn't take DeSantis long to return to form. And then she linked to a 2020 NPR article, The History Behind When the Looting Starts, the Shooting Starts. So you can't threaten lawbreakers. By the way, if they come on your property and start looting you, who wouldn't pull out their gun to try to defend? Doesn't mean you actually have to shoot them, but you are in danger if you decide to do this in Florida. And he's pointing it out, and that means he's a bigot. What do you think?
Yeah, look, it's people protecting their property. And racists, said this 50 years ago with racial intent, but there's none on the part of Ron DeSantis, or I believe the vast majority of people who have those signs out. They just don't want anyone to come and take their stuff. And the critics of this, do they really believe that every criminal is African American and every potential looter or someone who might be tempted to take something is African American? That's not true. They're white people who steal stuff as well. And this is just part of the culture of Florida. I was talking to a friend. Remember the horrible case? The guy, he killed the girlfriend when they're out in a national park somewhere, and then he came back in Florida and he disappeared. And my friend was talking to someone.
Gabby Petito.
Yeah, and he went to like a national, wildlife preserve in Florida, and as could be predicted, died and got eaten by a bunch of stuff, right? I think they had to rely on dental remains to discover who he was. And my friend was talking to someone, why don't these people, why don't they just hang out in some neighborhood or something, and as DeSantis says, go in someone's backyard. It's because someone might shoot you. Someone might shoot you because people have guns and they defend their property, as is their right. So you go to the wildlife preserve, never to be heard from again. So you see that sign, don't loot. No one's going to get shot. Nothing's get stolen, and everyone should be happy.
Have you ever had a friend who is naturally talented at things? They just pick up a sport or a hobby or a thing, and they immediately become good at it, make it look easy. If you don't have that friend, it's you, and we're all secretly jealous of you. The good news is, no matter who you are, you can make great food look easy with Good Ranchers. They source the highest quality meat in America, and they can prove it. Each piece of meat is from real American farms and hand-cut and trimmed by real American workers. They only source from farms that meet their standards of excellence, which means no antibiotics ever and no added hormones. Good Ranchers is so confident in the quality they sell that they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee on every box they ship to you. Plus, you can use my code MEGAN to get free shipping and $30 off on your first order. This is America's best meat and seafood, sold by some of America's best people. They have won awards like Best Food Subscription, but their mission is still the same, bringing everyone to the table to share in the best of what makes life good. If you want the best, go with Good Ranchers. Visit goodranchers.com/Megan to save on American meat delivered right to your door. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.